Welcome, Gemini, and those watching for Gemini. This is your love catch-all for June. This can be for if you're Gemini Sun, Gemini Rising, Gemini Moon, even your Gemini Venus. This can be for lovers, crushes, whoever you're thinking about it. It can even be for friends. We're going to get to the bottom of some stuff here. I always turn all the cards upright for each sign. It's something I like to do. And this is, I'm using Radiant Rider-Waite. And this is a 9-card spread. We're going to pull for what they're pulled, the magnetic pull for June. First, that's the first placement here. Let's get a really thorough shuffle in here for Gemini. So the first card is the pull. This is what they're pulled to about you in June. This is what's drawing them in. Two of Wands, upright. And once I pull all the cards, then we'll do an overhead shot and you can see them. The second card, oh, we have a jumper, is the Four of Cups. This is, oops, sorry, my mistake. The Nine of Cups, upright. This is their unedited feelings. Before they put on a mask, before they decide what's safe to show. The next placement is, this is what they want out of the connection. The Hangman reverse. The next placement is going to reveal the Resistance. Oh, we have a jumper. The Resistance is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Card 5, the Blind Spot. This is what you don't see. This is what you don't see yet. Five of Swords. These next two cards go together. It's what I like to call the alignment check. The first card reveals how they show up when things are easy. When there's no real work to put in. When it's effortless and fun. We have the Page of Wands reversed for you, Gemini. We're going to see how they show up now when it counts. When it matters to you. When you want to talk or something's bothering you or there's feelings involved or maybe a loyalty test or yeah. We have Strength reversed. This is for June. This is not always and forever. This is their next move. For June, what's their next move? What's Gemini's person's next move? Three of Pentacles reversed. And the last card is your power move. What's the best move you can make right now in this connection that keeps you in your integrity? Seven of Wands reversed. Interesting. Okay. We're going to get into this. We're going to look deeper into this. And at the end, I will pull a rune. And for the final word. Okay. Okay, Gemini, let's get started here. Let's take a deeper look at your cards. So for the pull, we have the Two of Wands. This card's going to show what about your energy is activating their attention in this connection right now in June. This can be attraction, curiosity, desire, intimidation, or even something they don't even understand but keep reacting to. Sometimes it's how your energy changed. But it's something that they're noticing, feeling, and they continue to be pulled back towards. What's capturing their attention right now is your sense of direction. You may appear to be someone who's looking ahead, or maybe you're growing, making plans, or moving towards something bigger. They might notice you seem ambitious or thoughtful about where your life is going. You might come across and appear comfortable making decisions on your own or exploring new ideas. They're drawn to your growth mindset and the fact that you're independent, because it's showing that you have confidence and strength. This card is about looking out into the future. This guy's standing on the threshold, considering options. He wants to move beyond what's going on. And he's just considering what could happen or what options he should take. So for the Two of Wands, in this position, the pull, it's less about a decision and more about like a magnetic feeling of possibility or expansion, a new enterprise. They're drawn to the feeling that this connection could be bigger than what it currently is. Or maybe they're wondering what it would be like to be with you. They're feeling pulled towards the potential of this. There's something here that makes them think beyond what's going on in their life. So they may be just watching you right now and not acting, but they are looking at you and they are considering possibilities or planning. They might be planning the best steps to take towards you, how to get towards you, the best way forward. They're trying to figure out whether pursuing you is worth the risk. He's holding the globe, he's holding the world, the ball's in his court. So what pulls them in is, this feels like a doorway into something they haven't finished exploring. And what I find interesting too is the Two of Wands is associated with Mars and Aries. So there's lots of fire here, lots of desire. So you definitely captured something in them. You're definitely turning their head. This person's definitely, you've got their attention. Okay. This next card, this is their unedited feelings, Nine of Cups. So this is how they feel before they filter through pride, manners, guilt, strategy, or before they filter themselves through how they should show up or do what seems correct, practical, or responsible. The Nine of Cups, this card feels like satisfaction, pleasure. This guy is really content. He's got a lot of emotion. It's also a cup card, so it's emotions in an emotion placement. So he's very, very satisfied. This person feels really good when they think about you or this connection. There's real enjoyment here and satisfaction. Something about this experience with you brings comfort or feels rewarding or fulfilling to them. So this person enjoys your presence and your attention. Being around you boosts their confidence. It brings them a sense of validation, or maybe it makes them feel appreciated. They may fantasize about the connection or revisit positive memories, thinking about you. But they definitely feel connected by your interactions. So underneath everything, this person feels really good about you. You trigger emotional satisfaction. There's contentment here, a sense of joy. And they're genuinely pleased by what they feel for you. They might even feel proud to have the feelings or be associated with you, because he's looking very pleased. This next card is what they want, the Hangman reversed. So this is what they're hoping for to get from this, what they want. It's not whether it'll last or whether it's the potential of the relationship or anything. It's just want. So it can be like stability, it can be access, it can be closeness, it can be something totally selfish sometimes. But with the Hangman in reverse, this person wants the connection to shift or open up and stop feeling stuck. Yeah, they want the connection to shift, open up, or stop feeling stuck. But they don't really want to sit in the discomfort or sacrifice or patience or accountability that's required to make that happen. So this person doesn't want to stay stuck anymore, but they also don't want to be the one who has to give something up or admit something or wait or change their view or surrender control. They want the stuckness to end. They want movement. They want the pressure to lift. They want things to stop hanging in limbo. They might want you to make things easier for them somehow. So they want an answer or a shift or a release, a way out of the pause here. Yeah. They want progress, but they don't want to have to do the inner work involved that's needed for that progress. So they may act impatient. They may resist waiting. They may get frustrated that the situation's still not moving. They may want you to change your mind, soften or forgive or understand, or make the next step easier. And they may avoid looking at the situation from your point of view or your side. They want the benefits of movement without the humility of seeing where they've been stuck. This can also be someone who's been paused for too long and they want out of that suspended feeling. In it being reversed, they might try to force movement before they've actually learned anything from the pause they're needing. They want a way out of the limbo without having to surrender control or change their perspective or make sacrifice the situation requires here. This person isn't willing to fully scrutinize or shift their own mindset, beliefs, or habits. Maybe it's a perspective or assumptions that keeps feeding the pattern of what they want to actually change. This person might be overly attached to how that change would make them look. They may be fearful of being judged, or how other people are going to perceive them if they look wrong, or apologize, or say, they were in the wrong, or have to admit their own perspective or habit or choices that they've been, because it's going to show that they've been part of the problem. So there's a fear of being judged here. They don't want to be seen as wrong or having to admit their own issues. Okay, yeah. So that's what they want. This next card, Queen of Pentacles reversed, is the Resistance. So this is going to show what makes them hesitate, hold back, protect themselves, delay, avoid, or it just kind of makes it harder for them to show up. It's kind of the pressure point. This can be internal or external. It can be feelings or anything about themselves, or it might be kids or work or distance or something, timing. But with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, the pressure point's someone that's not feeling grounded enough to show up properly. When the Queen of Pentacles is reversed, she loses her balance. She might be feeling overwhelmed. So this person's not feeling grounded or stable enough to nurture the connection consistently, or with the possibility this person may not feel grounded or stable enough to nurture the connection consistently. Or maybe they don't want the responsibility, or their practical life may be demanding a lot of them and they don't have time. Money, work, family, home, responsibilities. They might be insecure. They might be self-protecting, might be getting in the way, and they might feel just overextended. Another layer of this is that they may be protective of their own time, or their own energy, or their family situation, or their home life, or their body, or their emotional resources. And they resist giving too much or losing themselves in a caretaking role. Or they don't want to be just valued for what they can provide. So they pull back from nurturing the connection if they sense imbalance. It doesn't even have to be if they sense imbalance. Before they sense imbalance even, they don't want the imbalance. They can be warm one minute and then withdrawn the next. Not necessarily because there's no feeling, but because caring deeply may feel like it costs them something. Or maybe they've been burned before. Or like I said previously, they might just feel completely depleted. The shadow side of this is the Queen of Pentacles reverse can be very self-focused, possessive or insecure, jealous, or overly concerned with what benefits her. This can be someone who wants the warmth of the connection but struggles with the consistency, generosity, or grounded care needed to maintain it. So the resistance is whether they can give or make space for you without feeling drained or used or destabilized. That's the part of the story that explains a lot more than seems to at first. That's a strong one. Okay, so for the next spot here, this is the blind spot. You pulled the Five of Swords. So this is what's operating behind the scenes. It's kind of off camera. This hasn't been fully seen or named or acknowledged, but it's still influencing the connection. It's not always negative and it's not always intentional, but sometimes it's just something overlooked or underestimated or avoided. But it is still quietly shaping the way this is playing out. There's a unspoken conflict operating underneath this connection. It might be pride or defensiveness or power struggle, resentment, one-upmanship, or someone needing to win instead of trying to understand. Someone has a win-lose mindset that's operating quietly. And this could be you or them. That's not defined in this placement. It's just saying it's the blind spot in the connection. Yeah, there's a lot of pride and defensiveness and power struggles operating off screen. An unseen dynamic here is defensiveness or protecting yourself or winning is taken priority over the connection of how you're making other people feel or they're making other people feel or vice versa. And this is just for June, like it's not forever. So if you see anything you don't like, which you're bound to do when you're looking deeply into something, this is, yeah, someone may think that they're just protecting themselves, or proving a point or staying in control, not letting the other person get one over on them. But underneath that connection, someone's not realizing that it's creating damage and erosion. This is the energy of, I'd rather win than be vulnerable. I'd rather be right than soften. I'd rather protect my pride than repair the connection. That's very Five of Swords. So they may say little things that cut deeper than they admit. Or someone may be withholding or pulling back. Or acting cold to regain control. This is the energy of keeping score or assuming the worst. No apologies. Someone doesn't want to apologize because that would feel like losing. They may act like they don't care when they actually do. And they don't want to look foolish. They feel like if they would look stupid if they're trying to create peace. This can show someone talking really blunt and mean. These swords cut. There's a lot of mental games or pride or choosing to be right instead of caring how someone feels. And because it's the blind spot, it may not be fully realized how much this pattern's influencing the connection. Creating emotional distance or resentment. Because it's silent. It's something that's happening behind the scenes. Okay, we're going to move into our alignment check here. We're going to pull 6 and card 7. So this first card, this is when it's easy. This represents the connection, when the connection is light or fun, low pressure, and nothing major is being required. This is how this person's shows up, how they show up when it's easy. So this is Page of Wands reversed. They can be responsive and excited, charming and flirty, really talkative or curious. It might be really sexually or romantically sparked because it is a wands. It is a wand card, so it is fiery. This person likes to feel the chase, and they enjoy the back and forth banter, the chemistry, the fresh energy, and the feeling of possibility. This is someone who engages well when the vibe is light. They have playful communication or send playful messages. They might be flirty. They initiate in small bursts. They seem excited. They enjoy the chemistry. They have good chemistry with you and enjoy the attention. But this person is more comfortable with fun than heaviness. The shadow side of this is fire energy, but it's young fire energy. It's not a king. So it's not in its full maturity or long-term follow-through by itself. The shadow side of the Page of Wands, especially if it's reversed, is that their spark, it's a spark of flame. They can be more comfortable with excitement than responsibility. So they're good at showing interest when it feels fun, but this does not automatically prove maturity or consistency or emotional follow-through. So this is, I'm excited when it feels good. So yeah, so the question is, this person may be very alive in the chemistry, but still kind of young in the follow-through. But we'll see. So this card represents how they show up when something real is on the line. Emotional maturity, loyalty, patience, accountability, follow-through, or conflict repair. You pulled the strength reversed. So when it counts, this person might struggle with emotional control, confidence, patience, restraint, inner courage, maturity under pressure, staying soft without feeling weak. This doesn't mean they're bad or anything. It just means it shows someone who doesn't feel internally strong enough to handle real emotional weight of the connection right now. So they may lose confidence or get insecure. They may act out or shut down or struggle to manage their emotions or become reactive, defensive, withdrawn, or prideful. This person struggles to be vulnerable because it feels like weakness. They might act tough when they actually feel scared or exposed or insecure. And this is someone who lets ego take over because they don't know how to stay emotionally open or grounded at the same time. So they have feelings. It's not that the feelings aren't there. They just, there's not a lot of emotional muscle to handle the situation with maturity. And then the contrast here is, so when it's easy, they show up with spark and flirtation and excitement and playfulness. But when it counts, they don't have the restraint or confidence or emotional courage to handle the heavier parts. So this person might be good when the connection feels fun or low pressure. But when the connection asks for courage or emotional honesty or patience or accountability, their capacity is kind of limited by fear or insecurity, pride, or lack of emotional regulation. So the person, it's not saying they don't care, but they just don't always have the inner steadiness to handle hard emotional moments. Well, in June, they're not holding onto their emotions. Their emotions are ruling them when things are tough. Okay, this is their next move. Yeah, so the Three of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, it's kind of low effort, poorly coordinated, or unwilling to work as a team. This can show someone who wants the connection, but their actual behavior might lack consistency, communication, or the practical effort needed to build anything solid. This is not necessarily total disappearance. It can almost be more frustrating than that. It can look like they're not listening, or they're doing the bare minimum, or rejecting feedback. They're not planning with you, or they're acting like it's your job to fix everything, or they're not showing up as equal. They're not showing up as equal participants, or they might be just doing their own thing. So they might reach out, but there's no follow through, or they might show interest, but they're not contributing. They want things to improve, but they don't do their part. They might expect you to understand or adjust or carry more of the emotional labor. This energy avoids real conversations. They may act like they want progress, but their effort's not showing that in June. It might be pride, or they just don't care right now. Poor communication, lack of respect, or, they might be immaturity, or they're just unwilling. Yeah, so they may be involved, but they're not contributing properly. Effort is one-sided or absent completely. The problem is not that there's nothing there. The problem is that the effort's not organized or equal or mature enough to build on. In June. This person isn't being part of the team in June. Okay. This all comes back to you, Gemini, here. This is your power move. We got 7 of Wands reversed. So this is what helps you stay in your power and your integrity and move through this connection in June with clarity and self-respect, and keeps you in your power without heading to the games or the problem. Seven of Wands reversed. So your power move is not to fight harder or prove more. It's not to defend yourself louder. It's to, or not try to force clarity out of someone who's not meeting you with equal effort here. This card's about staying in your integrity. With the 7 of Wands reversed, the move is to notice where defending the connection or defending your worth, defending your position, or defending someone's potential is starting to drain you. It's not about giving up your standards. It's about refusing to add more tension or pressure or games or emotional combat to the situation that already has enough friction. That may mean, or it may look like saying less, or refusing to argue, or refusing to chase, refusing to prove, and letting the other person's actual effort speak for itself. So just stay in your integrity. Don't fight harder, over-explain, or defend your worth, or exhaust yourself trying to force effort or clarity or maturity. And this position is not about control or manipulation. It's about self-respect. So lowering the defenses without lowering your standards. Don't add to the conflict or the games or the pressure or the bullshit. Sit back enough to see who's actually willing to build with you. Okay. We're going to do the final word. Runes are going to get the final word here. So I'm going to see what they have to say. And I use the 33 Northumbrian runes set. So some of the pronunciations might sound a little different than the Elder Futhark 24 rune set because it came later. Let's see what we got. We have Oz. Okay. Let's see that here. So we have Oz. In the Elder Futhark 24 rune set, this is known as Ansus, and it represents truth and communication. You know, long ago speech was authority. There was no written law. Speech wasn't just communication. It could declare law, bind agreements, carry divine meaning, or shape outcomes. So it's saying here, be clear and honest. Your words carry weight here. What you say or don't say is shaping this. So if you have something to say, be clear. Mean what you say and say what you mean. In June, Gemini. Okay, thank you. Bye. See you next time.